People often ask me, how does a mediator help a family resolve conflicts?
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
One of the most rewarding sectors in which I get to do my practice is working with families in conflict. If your own family is going through a rough patch, or if you know of friends whose families are in turmoil, keep on watching. I'm Bob Bordone. I'm a senior fellow at Harvard Law School. I am the founder and former director of Harvard Law School's Negotiation and Mediation Clinical Program. I am also a co-founder and principal at the Cambridge Negotiation Institute, and I spend most of my life teaching negotiation, mediation, and helping parties work out and resolve conflicts.
Okay.
In this video, I'll discuss how mediators help families resolve and work through conflict. All families, even the happiest and the most healthy, have conflict. Being in conflict is part of being human and part of having relationships. In my work, it's really important to normalize conflict. There is nothing wrong with it. The only thing wrong is if you never have it. That's because as humans, we have different opinions. We have different preferences, styles, approaches, and priorities. And when we're in relationship with each other, we're bound to rub up against each other at times. On a day-to-day basis, families and individuals work out their differences typically without third-party assistance. But there are times when a third-party mediator can play a really useful role in helping family members resolve a conflict, or preserve or improve a relationship, or sometimes move toward restoration and even reconciliation. I'm going to say more about how a family mediator achieves these outcomes, but let me also say a bit more about the kinds of issues that family mediators work on. Often, when people hear family mediator, I think they think of someone who's helping work out the terms of a divorce. And of course, this is one kind of work that family mediators do. But in fact, family mediators assist in a wide range of family contexts. For example, I've helped family businesses work out succession plans as an aging founder decides to figure out what the leadership structure might look like as he retires and his children are ready to take on his business. I've also helped families work out conflicts that come up after a parent dies and the adult children need to work out issues relating to their estate. In another context, I've mediated a conflict as family members disagree over how to care for an ailing and aged parent, or how to provide for a sibling who might suffer from a disability and who will need permanent care upon the parent's passing. The reality is all these situations are ripe ones for family mediators.
I'll bet they do!
So what does a family mediator do in these situations? First, the mediator serves as a trusted and impartial neutral for all family members. One of the most important roles a mediator plays in a situation like this is as a listener, someone who can map out the true interests and concerns of the parties. Because by the time a mediator gets involved, feelings might already be raw and relationships damaged, the family can really benefit from someone on the outside who can make everyone feel heard.
Sort of. That was the plan, yeah.
In addition, family members might be willing to share more information with the neutral mediator than they would with each other, precisely because they are less concerned that a mediator will use the information to exploit them. Second, the mediator can help design a process for working out the issues in dispute. Once a mediator has a sense of who the parties are and what their interests are, the mediator can design a process that brings order to the chaos. Some years ago, I was working with a family that for years had chosen to walk away from hard decisions around the disposition of vacation property, because every single time someone brought the topic up, things went south. When I got involved and spoke with all the parties, I realized they really needed a roadmap for working through the issues. Part of what worked is that I was able to establish a series of meetings and then only invite the right people to the right meetings so that everyone felt their time was being respected, but also so that no one worried that if they weren't there, things were, quote, happening behind their back. Because my job was to ensure an outcome that met everyone's interests and that was fair and impartial, there wasn't the kind of anxiety about not being at a meeting that a family member might have felt if one of their siblings had called a meeting with some, but not all of the other siblings.
Did you do that?
No.
Third, the mediator can help sort out the substantive issues and the relationship issues It can work with the parties on either or both of these as needed and desired by the parties. One of the things about mediators is that each of us has our own style, and we don't all follow the same script. Almost everyone comes to a mediator because they have substantive issues they want worked out, like how will we care for dad as he moves into assisted living, or who's going to run the corner store with mom and dad retiring, or how can we work out an agreeable visitation plan for the children that also gives them flexibility and stability as they get older. But embedded in all these issues are relationship issues as well. In some cases, though it might seem that the parties are fighting over a particular issue or thing, the mediator soon learns that the issue or thing is actually a proxy for some relationship issue. Something like, you were always mom's favorite, or I can't stand the way this family constantly coddles you, or you were always trying to control me. Mediators can help parties separate out substantive issues from these relationship issues. And they can also help family members find ways to talk through the relationship issues in ways that can find a path toward forgiveness or healing or even restoration. My own personal style as a mediator favors looking at both substantive and relationship issues. Because in my mind, an important part of getting the substance unstuck means addressing the relationship issues behind it. It's also my view that if a mediator only focuses on substantive issues in a family while ignoring the relationship ones, the family will just find out new substantive issues to play out their relationship drama. This is partially what can make family mediation so different from a business or commercial mediation. In at least some, though by no means all commercial mediations, once the parties resolve their dispute, they kind of go on their own way. They don't need to interact with each other again. But in a family situation, that's almost never the case. Even if the touch points between the family are few and far between, right? Things like family funerals or weddings, there's still an ongoing connection and need to coordinate. So the more we can touch on and resolve the deeper relationship issues, the better it's going to be for everybody.
Wow, that was really beautiful.
Finally, throughout the entire process, a family mediator works to encourage the family members to be creative about crafting their own solutions to the family's problems. In a family, it's so easy to get stuck on a particular outcome and to see anything but that outcome as a loss. So throughout their work, a family mediator encourages all family members to be as creative and as flexible as possible. By getting families to focus on the underlying interests and needs instead of on specific and fixed positions, they can work to unlock a conflict and move toward mutual gain. So if you're considering working with a family mediator, consider reaching out to someone who, first, has a demonstrated record of being a good and careful listener. Second, who is really creative and purposeful about process design. Third, who can attend to both the substance and relationship issues in play. And fourth, who can focus the parties on being creative and generating solutions to the issues rather than just fixed on winning their particular outcome. If you want to learn more about mediation, keep on listening and click the next video.